Dave Carter had a dream, and his dream was to live in a trailer in the desert, a double wide, with a long gravel driveway at the end of which would be a sizable mailbox, maybe a quarter mile out, maybe a half mile out. And for his exercise, he would jog that half mile out to that large mailbox. That would be the cardio portion of the workout. And then he would open that mailbox and find it stuffed with royalty checks from Nashville, Tennessee. Just stuffed. And so for the weightlifting portion of his workout, he would lift those checks and do this all the way back to the trailer. That was the plan, a trailer in the desert. And to that end, he went to Nashville, Tennessee, and he played his songs. It was 1995, a year before I met him. Played his songs for 3 different publishers, and 3 different publishers agreed, Dave, your songs are really good. Your stories are really strong. Your musicianship is excellent. And 3 publishers agreed, Dave, your songs will never work in Nashville, Tennessee. And he scratched his head and he said, well, I don't understand. You like my songs. You said I'm a good musician. They said, yeah, Dave, but too many words, man. Too many words. That's not going to fly here. And so he got back in his Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme, a car his daddy had given to him when he made his big move to Oregon to be a swinger. Because that's what people do when they go to Oregon, they swing. That's what he thought anyway. He grew up in Oklahoma, you know, cut him some slack. So he went back and he vowed never to write for Nashville, and I think he probably wrote Crocodile Man soon thereafter, which has about as many words as you can fit into a song. But then his muses came to him with 3 verses of what sounded like a pretty good country song. I mean, it was in 3/4 time. It was about everybody's favorite subject, love, and all the words were, I want to say they were monosyllabic. They may not be wholly true, but it was pretty close. So he got these 3 verses and he started feeling good about it, but he was like, I really don't want to go to Nashville. They were so hard on me last time. But his friends were urging him on, saying, Dave, this is the one. Take the rest of your songs, go see different publishers, go try again, Dave. So next thing you know, he's packing the car. And he gets on that highway, headed south, headed east from Oregon, all the way to Tennessee. And he's about 5 or 10 miles down the road, and he hears a tapping on the passenger window, a little. And he looks over, and who should it be but a crowd of muses, his own muses, following him down the highway, saying, Dave, let us in. Where are you going? Where are you going? He said, well, I'm going to Nashville with that great song you gave me. Dave, let us in. That song's not done yet. You can't go. We've got one more verse. So he reaches over and he rolls down. It's a crank, you know. He rolls down the window of that Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme while he's riding down I-5 there. And the muses come in and they're all excited. And they tell him the first 2 lines of this 4th verse that they're sure is going to just make this song work in Nashville, Tennessee. And it starts like this. It starts, Death came to my window in the form of a maiden, and she didn't say nothing, she just stood and stared. The muses are very excited about this. They apparently have not been to Nashville. Because when's the last time you heard about death talked about like that? And we certainly don't hear the word maiden in country songs unless it's made in USA, where it works just fine like that. So they shared that with Dave, and then next thing you know, they're asking him, Dave, where are you going? Dave, why are we getting off the highway, Dave? Dave, this looks like the road back home. And he says, in fact, it is. We're not taking that song to Nashville because that verse is too true, and it fits too well, and it basically kills that song for Nashville. It's one of my favorite of the ones he left behind. It's also on Little Blue Egg with Dave singing it. It's the lead song on the album, and it's just called Better Way. Summer is over, and your temples are gray, and I guess you'll be looking round for somebody new. Maybe you found him and you're just not saying, 'cause he makes you feel There's a better way to love you. Show it to me, 'cause I could not live and let you get away, knowing there was a better way. Hard roads bust open with bitter words spoken, and hearts can be broken and dreams undone. Hearts can be mended and hard words forgotten, and roads return often where they started from. Babe, there's a better way to love you. Show it to me, 'cause I could not live and let you get away, knowing there was a better way. So that's 3 good verses there. Death came to my window in the form of a maiden. She didn't say nothing, she just stood and stared. Round about midnight she lay down beside me, but when I awoke, wasn't nobody there. There's a better way to love you. Show it to me, 'cause I could not live and let you get away, knowing there was a better way. Thank you so much.